Creating original, entertaining, and locally relevant programming that you are passionate about can be liberating. It can also be very challenging when you are trying to navigate copyright law and avoid infringement. This month's workshop here at SPNN focuses on and dispels a variety of myths regarding copyrighted material.
My name is Kenneth Kunkel. I'm an attorney in St. Paul with a focus on legal issues affecting creative professionals. Often I get calls from people on all kinds of different issues, and I, over the years, seen and heard quite a few different issues come up that are just blatantly wrong. People will come to me and say, well, I heard this, or I heard that. And it occurred to me at one point, well, if I can take a collection of all these myths and put them together into one package, I can often address a lot of misconceptions about copyright law, and at the same time teach about copyright issues. The myths range from issues of how you register a copyright to whether things are free on the internet. One of the things I see often that affects people in video fields and film and areas like that that is a little bit unique is the fact that they're not always working in a vacuum as opposed to a fine artist or a painter. And so as a result, they're working with collaborators of whether it's on-air talent or people behind the scenes as videographers and so on. And so in situations like that, some of the issues that come up that don't come up in other places have to do with, well, how do we decide who is actually the author of a creative work? And do we need to get some type of release from the talent that's involved? And those issues are a little bit unique to that particular field. I see one of my roles as an attorney working with this particular community is serving as a bridge for them. Often what they're focused on is creating whatever they're creating. And they don't want to necessarily be bothered by learning the legal issues or even some of the business issues. That's not to say that a lot of them don't have good business skills and a lot of good knowledge in those areas, because many of them do, and they're quite competent in those areas. But I see one of my roles is helping bridge that gap for them. So hopefully I have enough of an understanding of what they're doing, whether it's graphic arts, software development, television production, whatever it may be. Hopefully I have enough understanding of that industry to be able to help them bridge to address things that might come up in other industries and the issues that come up within the law. What we see often with the internet or any social media is instant gratification, the ability to both post content and create content often instantaneously. And one of the dangers that kind of comes up as a result of that is there's no stop and think moment. And so as a result, people, unless they've educated themselves about these issues, sometimes fall into traps related to that. One of the things that we see most often related to internet is related to one of the more common myths, which is if it's on the internet, it's free. That, of course, isn't true. Just because it's made its way to the internet doesn't make it free. But many people still view it that way. And so as a result, if they need a background photo or they need some music or something like that, they'll go to an online site and say, hey, I like that, and pull it down and begin to use it. In doing that, they're exposing themselves to liability for copyright infringement claims, and that can have a substantial financial cost to them. I'm Kenneth Kunkel, and please join me for Copyright Myths at SPNN in March.